give you a chance to maybe pull the red shirt and get in the lineup?
Yeah, it was never really like talked about or anything, but I was definitely thinking about it. I knew that no one kind of had the spot yet. It was still up for grabs, and a good performance would definitely put me up there with them. I mean, maybe I wasn't in the conversation as much before Midlands, but definitely after Midlands, kind of put me in the conversation, and then from there, obviously, Tom decided it was an opportunity for me to wrestle, and I agreed, and now here we are.
How's that experience different from where you've been? I mean, I don't imagine you've been fighting for a spot in that weight.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think this whole year has been different. I back in high school, even in middle school, I was wrestling in practice, and I was winning. Most of the time I wasn't getting my butt whooped that much. But now, here I'm coming in here, and there's probably maybe once a week, twice a week where I get my butt whooped real bad. And I mean, it's a good thing, obviously. You want that, you're getting better, but it's a different experience, and it's a learning experience for sure.
How about the first start at Carver, the first time you're gonna be on the mat in front of this fan group, this place, the reputation, and what are you expecting of it all?
That's I mean, it's I'm super pumped. My dad's pumped. He texted me yesterday. He just like out of the blue is just like I'm excited, and I can't wait to see you in Carver, because it's one of those things when I'm getting recruited here. Tom, Terry, Morningstar, they walk you down that tunnel, and they're like, well, this is where you're gonna be wrestling. Imagine this, stands filled with 15,000 people, however many people it is. But when you finally get the call, like Tom last week gave me the call and told me I was gonna wrestle, and it's kind of surreal at first, but you gotta now you gotta prepare for it, so just like kind of like using like mental imagery when I'm just like, even like when I'm not in practice, at home, just like thinking about walking out there and just thinking about how it's gonna feel, if I get a takedown, what it's gonna sound like, and just training my mind too, not just in the room obviously, but training my mind, getting ready for that, because it's different. It's obviously the fans are for me, but it's different. It's like nothing I've ever had before, so it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Yep.
Know what your walkout song is going to be?
Yeah, it's gonna be Iron Man by Black Sabbath.
There you
So yeah, it's just started from the very start of the song. So I was struggling to pick one. I was thinking "Die Young" for a little by Kesha. There were some different ones. Yeah, Midnight City. There was a lot, but
This sounds like
yeah.
a whole process.
Yeah, it is. You ask me. I was texting some of my buddies like, "What should my walkout song be?" Like, it's just like, it's a big thing. It's just a nice thing. To kind of just like, it gives you a personality sort of in Carver. So yeah,
Definitely.
Iron Man, Black Sabbath.
Any special meaning behind that, or?
Yeah. Well, actually, Iron Man is like my favorite superhero.
Okay.
So that's like just one thing. It's in the movie, obviously. And my dad, me and him have kind of like always. That's kind of like been one of our songs. We just like like when I was younger, it would come on in the car and we would both know it. So it's just kind of a song I've known for a while since I was a kid. So
That's awesome. I know you kind of hinted at this a little bit after the Indiana duel, but when did the conversation start with Tom about you maybe potentially being in the starting lineup?
The conversation really didn't start till, Tom and Terry never really came up to me and were like, then didn't really even mention it until Indiana. I mean, like the week leading up to Indiana and Purdue,
Okay.
they told me I was going to go on the trip with the team, so it was in the back of my mind a little. I had a good performance at Midlands. I'd been wrestling pretty well in practice, and then they told me I was going on the trip, so that was it was all kind of lining up, And then once they called my dad on the bus ride up to Indiana and Purdue, and they told my dad that they wanted to pull me and wrestle me, and my dad called me, and me and my mom and dad talked about it and thought it was the right decision. Felt like it was a good decision for me, and from there, that's what happened. I wrestled, and Tom told me that I was officially going to wrestle right after introductions at Indiana. Yeah, so Cash and I got introduced, and then we walked back after we got introduced, and Tom kind of whispered to me, he's like, "You're going," and I was like, "All right." So I knew it was on.
Definitely. It seems like this is like another example of things seemingly moving really quick for you. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I remember, like you're committed to Army, and then Cadet Worlds, and then Iowa, and then Fargo, UWWs, and now you're starting for the Hawkeyes. Does it seem fast?
It doesn't really. I think from the outside eye, it may seem fast.
Yeah.
You know, like from people who are just like watching, like they don't really may not keep up with wrestling so much, but they see the highlights on Twitter, the stuff that's getting liked a lot. You know.
Yeah.
But for me, no, it doesn't seem fast because you know all those hours I've been putting in, you know, all those practices, all that training I've been doing. You know, it's I think I've earned it, and
Yeah.
I think from if you're outside looking in, it may seem like it's bam, 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 fast. But for me, I feel like it's been a long journey, and I'm just getting started, so I'm excited.
Definitely. I know you talked before the Midlands just about, you know, fixing things up here to really, you know, that's where you probably made the biggest strides.
Yeah.
Do you remember a moment where everything just kind of clicked for you and you're like, you know, hey, I can hack it. I can do this.
I think there was I think it was actually during Midlands where I was down in a couple of those matches.
Yeah.
And you know, it was, I don't know what round it was, but against Princeton and against kid from American.
Back to back.
Yeah, back-to-back matches. I was down and kind of maybe the odds were against me a little, and I really just never gave up. You know, I just was staying strong in my mind, and I think once I saw those results, like if I may feel tired, but if my mind's still going, you know, if I'm pushing through it, that the training your mind and you know practicing your mind like Tom and Terry preach all the time, it works, and it showed on the mat at Midlands. So I think it's pretty cool. It's just kind of just to see your work, not just like in wrestling wise, like see your work, not just from wrestling, but also in just your mind, training your mind, and it's paying off. So.
Definitely. Have you thought about how crucial that's going to be moving forward, not just this weekend, but I mean, Ohio State next week, Penn State the week after that. You know, Mark's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah. I think I need to, you know, keep a level head, you know, and keep wrestling hard and keep just trying to not get overwhelmed with the situation, you know. I mean, like you said, you know, there's all these top 5 teams coming in these next couple of weeks, and just, you know, not getting overwhelmed, taking it one match at a time, one practice at a time, you know, like taking this next practice and just going through this practice with a level head, you know, and then taking this practice and then just getting ready for the next one and the next one, and just not getting ahead of myself, like, oh, I got this guy in a couple of weeks, you know, or just keeping level head and working hard, and good things will come. Like,
There'll be a level of excitement that comes with that too, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm pumped. This is probably one of the most excited I've ever been to wrestle a match in my life. You know, it's I don't know, my biggest match in my life, but it's definitely going to be one of the most matches that I've been most excited for. So I'm pumped. Can't wait. You know, Carver's going to be fun, loud. I'm excited.
Definitely.